Good morning. Happy Thursday. My goodness, off to a slow start here. Sorry about that. Just one of those days, moving slow. I did go to the chiropractor yesterday. That was my birthday gift to myself, and I'm feeling we're headed in a better direction. We'll see how things play out over the next couple of days. But honestly, yeah, yeah. So we'll see who pops on here. I see there's one hanging out there. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Glad you hung around. Sorry for being late. Just was one of those mornings. So, let's see. What all do I need to tell you? Yes, the end of my birthday special was midnight last night. Good morning, Barb. And quite a few people signed up. That is awesome. Good morning, Jonille. I knew you would be waiting. Yep, I just was moving very slowly this morning. It's not grabbing. My back isn't grabbing, so that's a plus. When I went in yesterday, he asked me, because I had been there on Monday, he asked me, was it improved at all? And I said, oh, yes, that electric zing that you get when there's nerve involvement, that was gone. It was just this huge general ache in the area. It's SI joint. And then when I would try to move, like no energy there in the muscles to move. So good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. So better today, and we'll just keep picking away at it. So yeah, thanks for all the birthday wishes. That was lovely. And then I was on a Zoom, no, not a Zoom. We do a circles meeting last night. And good morning, Abigail. Glad you're here. And someone realized that one of the people who was on the call, Nancy, her birthday is tomorrow. So they wished her a happy birthday. And then someone remembered that yesterday was my birthday. Good morning, Abigail. And then someone else said his birthday was on Saturday. And someone else also had a May birthday. So out of, I think what were there, 7 of us, 4 of us are under the sign of Taurus. And I'm like, it's no wonder this is how things go. Yes. There we go. 3 trips to the AT&T store. Oh, what fun. Oh, what fun. Yeah, well, yesterday I also, and I felt yay me about this. Last night I was transcribing, God love her, my virtual assistant Morgan. She is fabulous, but she is young. And so in order to help me figure out how to add 2 more platforms to my StreamYard every morning, she made me this little video on a platform called Loom. There was a point where I had 3 versions of Morgan on Loom going at different points in that video. Yeah, and then I couldn't figure out how to get rid of the other 2. So you know what I did? What any old person does, shut the phone down and start again. I conquered. So yeah, it's hard to stop it. I mean, once it's rolling, to get it to stop, you actually have to hit twice to get it to stop. And then to try to back up and pick up something that you've missed, because I'll show you what I was making. The good old-fashioned instruction sheet for how to do this. And interestingly, this probably isn't going to interest you at all, but it interested me. When I add Instagram to this StreamYard process, they're so fussy that I have to go from setting up all of StreamYard to personally setting up each individual day of Instagram. And then once I start StreamYard going and you all start saying hello to me, I have to go back to Instagram and start that one to get it to come into StreamYard. What brain trust came up with this? They obviously were not paying attention to the end user. Whatever. On we go. There was some interesting reading I did last night on that as well, in that lovely book that I'm reading, Switch. And they were talking about the attitude of software developers toward end users. and that they work at the AT&T store. Yeah. And I remember that meme of the little bitty kid, I don't know, 9 months old, holding the phone to her ear and slapping her head saying, "Grandma, it's the red button." Yeah, I'm grandma. No red button. So, um, anyway, in the book, they were talking about the software developers and their somewhat look down the nose attitude toward end users. And one of the things that Microsoft did about that was they took away the software developers' fancy, cutting edge, new, brand new, shiny computers and made them work on the models that most of the end users had. How brilliant was that? Because what works on their fancy dancy machines didn't work on Joe Blow and Jane Doe's machines at home. So now they get to work on POSs like the rest of us own, and the interface goes a whole lot better. I thought that was brilliant. That's one of the things I'm loving about this book is the brilliance of the solutions they're coming up with and the relative tininess of the solutions they're coming up with. That's a tiny solution and a cheap solution. You're not buying state of the art equipment for all your people, you're letting them use their pieces of junk, right? Fabulous, fabulous. They even quoted Marla Silly in there, who, for those of you who know Fly Lady, awesome. Her thing is clean your sink. If the wheels are falling off your life, go clean your sink. 5 minutes, be done. Have something sparkle. Make yourself feel better. So, and we do that here too, don't we? What's one tiny baby step you can take today toward your outcome? So now that we are 7 minutes in with just free form yapping, let's move on to our chapter, shall we? First, let's do a little tapping and a little breath. Hope you found the tapping yesterday helpful. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And we do have a lovely section from Tosha, Outrageous Openness, letting the divine take the lead. For those of you who have the book and like to follow along, this is chapter 9, page 107. The title of the chapter is Objects in the Mirror Are Closer Than They Appear. And this little section is No Worry, Send Blessings. No worry, send blessings. The quote is by Suki James, brilliant quote. Worry is like throwing kerosene on a fire. Worry is like throwing kerosene on a fire. And you may protest, yeah, but I can't help it. I'm just a worrywart, blah, blah. No. Argue for your limitations and you get to keep them. You can change this. We can change this. I used to be one of the most anxious people ever. I was the person that when I had to give the speech in middle school, I was clutching the podium and dancing back and forth and damn near moving the podium with me because I was so scared. Now I chat to all of you and I don't care. Things can change. So, no worry, send blessings. Often in the course of a session, because again, Tosha did readings, people tell me of someone they're concerned about. Maybe they have a child, parent, or friend with a medical issue or financial problem. You have anybody on your radar screen that you're worrying about? Anybody? Anybody? They say they worry about this person all day long as a token of their undying love. Not helpful. But if you care about someone, worry is the worst energy you can send. Thank you, Abigail, for posting Suki James' quote. That is fabulous. That is wonderful. If you care about someone, worry is the worst energy you can send. If someone will put that in the feed, that would be fabulous. If even a handful of eyes catch that later today, that will be awesome. Worry is the worst energy you can send. It directly transmits fear and restriction, since we usually visualize all the darkest possible outcomes. Anybody into awfulizing? I used to be a master at that. Yeah. So even if it's well intended, worry blankets the poor recipient's energy field in a negative vibe. Imagine a black express mail envelope marked thinking of you, filled with muck, mildew, and a few skull bones. I love you, so I'm sending you this. Yeah, that's worry. So it's simple instead to learn to send blessings as soon as worry begins. Just hold the person in your mind filled with light and happiness. See them peaceful and content. Do it day after day. That's the single most useful gift you can mentally give anyone you love. So let's do that right now. Let's warm up our energy hands. I want you to think of someone who's going through a time right now, having some struggles. Open your hands, close your eyes, not if you're driving. Send some energy. See them peaceful. See them calm. See them smiling, a real genuine smile. See their shoulders drop. See their face light up. They're feeling your energy, people. Keep sending. Keep sending. And anytime the worry pops into your mind, go back to sending energy. That's what prayer chains are all about, sending positive healing energy. And it is powerful, powerful, powerful. Good morning, Beth. We're sending energy to someone that we traditionally would worry about, but now are blanketing them with blessing. Blanketing them with blessing. And a feeling of this part of their path is designed to teach them something. And we all navigate these hard things. We do. It's part of being alive. And so we're sending them energy as they navigate their way through whatever it is. Cool. And you can do that at any point during the day. If you find yourself going for a walk and worrying about them, send them energy. If you find yourself having trouble falling asleep at night because you're worrying about them, send them energy. Positive healing energy and seeing them bathed in light. Seeing them bathed in light. But see, I like to see their smile because to me that's a sign that things are shifting and they get it, that this is just part of their path and that they're going to be fine. Okay, so here's a story that captures this concept. A woman called who was panicked about her daughter's first pregnancy. Every night she lay awake visualizing every possible disaster. Her imagination was on overdrive. There we go, surround them in angels. Beautiful, beautiful. What if her daughter tripped and fell down the stairs in her third trimester? What if the baby was unexpectedly premature? What if one day it hated its grandmother? Worry, 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 worry. What if, what if, what if? My thing with what ifs is answer the question. If she tripped and fell down the stairs in her final trimester, she goes to the hospital, they do what they can do. That's what the outcome is. What if the baby's unexpectedly premature? She's in the hospital, they take care of her, they do what they do for babies who are premature. What if one day it hated its grandmother? You might want to take a look on the front end then about how do I want to build a good, positive, healthy relationship with this granddaughter or with this grandchild so that that's unlikely to happen, right? But if grandma is a worrywart who, don't do that, come sit by me, wrapping the kid in peach fuzz, they might end up a little bit about that grandmother. So here was Tosha's solution. Because she and her daughter were so bound, I knew the young woman was receiving this energy and worrying even more. And then imagine what the fetus was receiving. This tiny being thinking, yo, what are you crazy people out there sending me? I'm just floating here in amniotic happiness. What is up with you all? So I convinced my client to send blessings. I got an email later. She had created a circle of friends and family who got on the phone every night to mentally send her daughter light. They surrounded the birth with ease and happiness. The daughter began to feel uplifted. The birth went well. Cynics might say it would have gone smoothly anyway, but who cares? Why make loved ones shovel their way through all the fear you're unintentionally sending them? And if you think you don't have time to bless someone, consider how time-consuming worry can be. Anxiety can be a full-time, hyper-focused mental devotion for an obsessed mind. And learning to shift from worry to blessings just takes practice. So send them to your loved ones, to strangers, to enemies, to animals, and to the planet, and of course, to you. So, and notice what happens then. Strangers become not strangers. Enemies become friends. Animals chill out. Send the good energy anytime, anywhere. It's an endless supply. It's not coming from you, it's coming through you. So you imagine your crown chakra spinning open and the universal energy pouring through you. You are a conduit. You are the hollow reed. And then you pour it out through your hands. I like driving along and just holding up a hand. Someone goes past me in one of those trucks that lets me know that they've got issues. Hold up a hand. Send them good energy. Bless them on their way. Someone cuts you off in traffic. There's that initial, "Urgh." Send them a blessing. We have no idea what someone's going through, right? No idea. Send them a blessing. And as Barb says, surround them in angels. That's lovely also. Surround them in angels. And when someone's really surly, seeing them surrounded in angels can be kind of fun. Can be kind of fun. Maybe as the angels are floating around, their little bare feet are tickling that person's nose. Have fun with it. Enjoy. So that is our reading for today. I hope you all have a lovely Thursday. Mine's one of those where I'm going to be wearing tennis shoes because I was overzealous about scheduling. And I took yesterday off, so then you kind of plunk things into the next day, but it'll be good. It'll be good. Get to see some people, get to go some places. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Oh, yes, and tomorrow will be EARLY because it's Grandma Day, so I have to get my butt on the road by 6:15, so we'll be on early. See you tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.